Welcome, everybody, to the F4 Hunger Awareness Show.
It's my goal to feed 1 billion people before I die.
We want to bring awareness around the issue of hunger and food insecurity.
7 to 8 million people served so far. With the sole goal of eradicating world hunger by connecting sources of food to recipients in need. Fiorenza's Food for Friends.
Bella, maybe if you want to pull some of those hunger stats we were reviewing from the
Yeah.
FRAC earlier, I think that would be nice to kind of give some context. But
All right. I have them up now.
yeah, do you want to mind put it as a backdrop? That'd be great.
Okay. So I have them written. I don't have the website pulled up
Yeah,
though.
no, that's perfect. Just if you want to kind of at a high level share them, and then we can talk through them a little bit. Like
All right,
just
I'll read them though, just because
yeah,
it's
perfect.
okay.
Yep.
So we have about 1 in 7 households, which is 13.5%, experienced food insecurity or lack of access to an affordable, nutritious diet. This is an estimated 47.4 million Americans. And then 13.8 million children lived in households that experienced food insecurity, which has gone up by 3.2% from 2022. They also, in the statistics, they also found that rural areas had a higher number of households than urban and suburban areas that were experiencing hunger, which is odd because the rural areas are mainly the ones who are producing the food. Um, and then I also found that hunger and poverty are driven by economic and social hardships, so including insufficient wages, lack of affordable housing, inadequate health care, and more, and by systemic discrimination.
Yeah. So that number was 47, it said 47.4 million.
47.4 million
Wow.
Americans.
So roughly like 13 to 15% of our population. That's unbelievable. Did it have anything on the children? Did it say anything on the kids and what you had read?
It said that they were 13.8 million children lived in households that experienced food insecurity, but it went up by 3.2% from 2022.
Yeah.
So
Those-
sad. Brian and I we were foster parents and we've taken in some children and they would hide food at night and stuff snacks
Oh,
into their pockets and take it to their rooms because they came from homes with not enough money to properly feed them. And it
oh,
was shocking how many had never had fruit before
really?
because the fruit's more expensive.
That's so sad.
That is really, really, really sad.
Even in my community, which is and I live in a suburb outside of New York City, and in our in our high school, some of the kids would, as part of like a volunteer project, they would make peanut butter and jelly. It was the PB&J club. They would make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and they would, decorate the bags that it went in so that it came with a little love. And one of the children in the group said that she came home one day and told, or the mom said this, that she came home one day and her daughter said, "Mom, I don't understand. I saw the bags. Somebody in my cafeteria was, eating the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, why would they have it?"
Hmm.
And it was such an eye opener that there are, and similar to the families that my son and I cooked for, they live in our community.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in our community would not expect that someone who's food insecure lives in the area that we do. And it just goes to show that it's everywhere. It's not just in, lower income or, racially diverse, neighborhoods. It's just everywhere. So it's certainly eye-opening. And I think that our firm also, when you guys presented, really was very eye-opening, and the information, the stats that you provided, I think people don't expect to hear it in their own neighborhoods.
Yes. We
Right.
really liked how you provided statistics for each office and our community. And like Michelle said, it was very eye-opening for your own community, what's really going on.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. It was really great to have the opportunity to partner with you, number one. the work that we do as an organization, we educate and facilitate. So we're not collecting and storing food. We help to identify resources, agencies we call them, that can then distribute food to constituents local to where the food has been donated. So all that to say that we worked with your various locations around the country to identify a local food bank that would receive either the money or the food that was collected and then provide it to the constituents of that community. So all the food stayed local and there was no cost to that food bank to receive the food. It also provided your employees an opportunity to volunteer at that food bank if they so chose. What made your food drive unique and exciting is that since you were so spread out, it wasn't that it was just, the Northeast. We were up and down the East Coast and all to the Midwest. We had a chance to, as you identified, look at the hunger stats in each of those communities and look at the needs of those communities. And we did it by a state level and then a county level. So it was like national, state, county. And it was really interesting to see regarding the state that you were in, the dispersion in food insecurity rates. And I'm not sure if when you went through them, I sent them to each of the offices individually, but there was some massive differences depending upon what state you were in food insecurity rates. Population was one, like there were big population gaps. So in real, like raw numbers, the amount of people that were food insecure, but even the percentages it was shocking. Absolutely. We
Yeah.
also, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna, no, please go ahead. I'll save my comment.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, and then in addition to the emails that had the stats, how to volunteer, how to donate, we also did recorded videos to try to bring that data to life. And I think, and you can speak to this, Amanda and Michelle, I think it's a good model for other companies that are considering doing a food drive to really engage. You do the written word and then you do the video and support it and then provide it so it's an opportunity to give money but also give time if you wanted. So maybe you can comment on that. Maybe other companies might be interested in doing it as well.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, you and your team made it effortless for Chartwell and its employees and extended families. And sometimes that's the push we need to have something presented to us as an opportunity. And I know that yeah, there's the bragging rights right there.
Yeah.
It really, I think overall it was eye-opening for all of us. I think it gave us an opportunity, like we talked about a few minutes ago, to take a pause from our work and our work life and really see what is going on in the world and in our communities. And your ability to bring it to even the local level. I know that we had a good amount of people who already were already volunteering or had interests in local organizations, and fortunately you made it easy for them to keep to support those local entities, as well as just open their eyes to what exists in their community so that they can continue to do so. And I know this became something that was both heartfelt as well as bragging rights and a little bit of competition, which is all works for the benefit of those who are in need. And certainly we, Amanda and I and the rest of the Chartwell Cares Committee, we were receiving emails internally, and I know you and your team were as well. What else can I do? Is this something where I can go and volunteer my time? Is this only limited to, this food drive? And it really, I think, allowed people to have those opportunities that wanted to. And for those who've never thought about it, now their eyes are open and it becomes, again, it becomes something that can be so easy, whether it's financially or just going one day or, gathering a collection and dropping it off. It was very easy and meaningful. And I think, we look forward to the next one where we could be probably more engaged, because I think, the first time is always the hardest. And a lot of people were really touched by this opportunity. And, working with F4 was just effortless, as I said, and really enabled us to find something that we could all contribute to.
Thanks, Michelle.
It was all positive feedback, and everyone asked, can we do this again next year and make it an annual thing? So
Well, I will say that you, and this is some good pictures of some of the teams. Your teams are all very generous and they really care. I mean, you could definitely tell they were invested, they were engaged. It mattered. I mean, look, like they put a lot of effort into this food drive.
Yeah, and that's just one office right there.
Yeah,
That's just one office.
that's just one of the offices. So there's a lot of opportunity to kind of even increase that. And as you so well said, what can we do beyond, the food drives? Like what do those pantries need throughout the year? And that's where hopefully team members from Chartwell will say, there's an opportunity. I want to help out with my son or daughter, like you did, Michelle, which was so cool. And just like the concept of just getting involved local, keep the energy focused on your local community. You're not going to solve the problem, but you can solve someone's problem. And that's like, let's focus on, like in that movie Hacksaw Ridge, he's saving the troops, and he says, God, help me save one more, help me save one more, help. At the end of that night, and he's coming down the ridge, he saved over 70 lives. It's a true story. He saved over 70 lives, but he focused on one at a time. And it's the same concept with hunger and food insecurity. Like Amanda, you fostered children, and like you were saving one at a time. You went even further, but you were saving one at a time, and it's that concept. Nobody's a lost cause. Let's do all we can to help just one person, and then one becomes two, and two is four, and four is eight, and it can grow from there.
I really love your lifetime mission
Oh, thank you.
have, which do you
Yeah.
want to share that with everyone again?
Yeah, happy to. So I started the foundation. I had actually discerned the priesthood. That's where it all started. I was a teenager and I decided it wasn't what I wanted to do. I got my MBA and I started providing food to the hungry and homeless. And over time it evolved. I started my dad's family business together in financial planning, and then I made a goal for myself that I wanted to personally, before I died, serve 1 billion people. So then this charity F4 expanded over time, and it's not, I don't get paid for it. I volunteer. I work at like a full-time, second full-time job, but it's just a volunteer avocation for me. But my dream is that when my time is gone, that we would have fed 1 billion people, but more importantly, we would create infrastructures and systems in place so that people will always be able to get access to food as efficiently and effectively as possible in every community around the country. That's my dream and goal.
It's
I think that's
amazing.
an amazing goal. And you've taught us all various ways to give back. You can give donations, donate your time, teaching us
Yep.
Spreading the
information.
message.
No, yes, spreading the message and instilling it in our children to give back.
Yeah, you both inspire me so much. The fact that you're able to achieve professionally at such a high level and have made the priority of giving back and teaching your kids how to do that.